Alright, so I'm going to be showing how to open up and disassemble this Lenovo ThinkPad X1 Carbon 7th generation. Alright, we're going to be using a JAS1 screwdriver. The screen on this is damaged, so we're going to go ahead and be replacing that. We got the replacement screen, but for some reason the model number is weird. It's supposed to be, I believe, NV140QUM-N53, but for some reason they put an E instead of a V. Hopefully it's just a typo and it works completely fine. I tried Googling for that model with the NE and I couldn't find anything, so maybe it really is just a typo. Anyways, let's go ahead and remove all the screws from the bottom. These are, again, JAS1 screws. Okay, so undo it until it stops going. It looks like the screws are actually attached to the case, so just keep turning it until you hear it click. Alright, just like that, and then go to the next one. If this video helps you out, make sure to like, subscribe, share my channel with others so that they can learn how to upgrade and repair their devices as well. And if it helps you save a bunch of money, please consider contributing a little to the channel. Every little bit helps and allows me to continue making these videos for a living. Alright, once you get all the screws out, we can pull this up. Sometimes the screws might get stuck and not come out all the way, so you might have to twist it as you pull it. Okay, in this case, they all came out. There's this little hole here, which is like a battery reset button. And if you use a pin or like a folded out paper clip, you can push that and it'll push this little button that's right here. Let me actually zoom in. Actually, here you can see what the inside of this looks like. Okay, we'll set this aside. Let me actually get a thumbnail real quick here. Okay, so let me center this a little bit and hopefully that's in the center. Okay, anyways, we're gonna zoom in. I'll show you that little button right here. So that's this little white button. Okay, we're going to disconnect the battery. You can see all the battery model numbers here. I believe the main one is the L18M4P72. Okay, but there's a ASM part number, FRU part number, and whatever this other stuff is. Okay, and then of course, if you're ordering a battery, you just want to make sure it looks the same shape and everything. Okay, that's what it looks like. Okay, so the battery connector is here. To disconnect this, I believe this one is like a pop-up in the front. Okay, so you go in the front here. Let me see if I can kind of show this. So if you look in here, there's kind of a little gap there. So you want to pop that gap up. Okay, so just like that. You can see I popped it up. I used my thumb to push down and I pulled with that. And there we go. So now that we popped up this piece, we can actually slide the whole connector this direction. You can see it goes forward and then you can lift it out. So push it forward and then you can pull it out just like that. Okay, so now we have the battery disconnected. I'll put this plastic down so it doesn't accidentally reconnect, and there we go. All right, I'm not sure what kind of slot this is. It looks like an SSD slot, but I'm not 100% sure. This is what the other actual SSD looks like. It might be on like what do you call wide area network or whatever card for like one of those mobile network cards. This is a M.2 PCIe NVMe SSD. To remove it, there's one screw, then it pops up slightly at an angle and you can pull it out. CPU is soldered to the motherboard. You can't replace it unless you have some crazy special tools and stuff, but if you have those, then you already know how to do it. If you don't, there's no way you're going to be able to do this. Alright, after disconnecting the battery, as a safety precaution and also to make it less risky to work on this device, we're going to open the laptop and then we're going to press and hold the power button for at least 15 seconds. Alright, so the power button is on the side here, so we're going to press and hold that power button for at least 15 seconds. Alright, a lot of people ask me if they need to do this. It's kind of like saying, do you need to wear gloves when you touch a hot pan? Maybe not, but you should do it. You don't want to burn your hands. Okay, so if you don't hold this power button down, there's a lot more risk to damaging the internals. Also, of course, I think most people know, keep yourself grounded so that you don't have any built-up static that can damage anything. Okay, then you got these two connectors here. They both go into the screen. I'm assuming this thicker one is for the, oops, sorry, I'm zoomed too far in. Okay, so we have these two connectors, this one and this one. I believe this is very likely for the LCD LVDS. You can actually see there's some part numbers here, though if you have yours, you'll want to check yours. Okay, there's that, and then there's one more on this one here. Okay, So I don't think there's a touchscreen model, so I don't know why both cables are so big. Maybe because this one has like a camera and then whatever this sensor is and the microphone. So that's likely what this other connector is for. I don't think, yeah, this shouldn't have touchscreen. Then you have the wireless card is soldered to the motherboard, which sucks. The wireless antennas, if you want to remove them, you go from the tail and you pull straight up. All right, the tail end, don't try and pry up from this side. What else do we got? You got this little connector here, which is for a speaker. All right, and this has a little wings that you can kind of grab the wings and you kind of just, usually I wiggle it like that as I pull, and it should slowly pop out. So that goes there. There's a wire going underneath the motherboard all the way to this speaker here. All right, I do see, where'd it go? These are the wireless antennas here. So this piece right there that's held in with that screw, it's a wireless antenna, and that one too. You can actually see like the goldish colored stuff on it. Okay. Then obviously you have the fan here with the fan connector there. You got this connector, most likely is going underneath to this board here, which is the USB port and the power button. Okay, and then you have some more speakers down here. You got this speaker. There's a wire running along under here all the way to this speaker here. Okay, and then the speaker connects up here. Then you got this little connector, which I'm pretty sure is the CMOS BIOS battery, but I'm not gonna remove that. I don't wanna mess with it because the only thing we're doing is changing the screen. So I don't wanna take too many things out if I don't have to. Okay, keyboard connectors, this one most likely, and then this is most likely keyboard backlight. Actually, there's another connector, brown one that's going under there. I don't know, that one's thinner, it's more likely the keyboard backlight, but I'm not too sure then what would this be, maybe the touchpad or trackpad connector. All right, then there's also this intrusion switch here, so it will know if you open the cover, and it will also know if the cover has been left off unless you're holding that thing down. But once you open it, that thing pops up, so it's kind of like a trip switch or whatever. All right, anyways, we got all the battery drained and we looked over the internal components. Let's go ahead now and pop the screen out. So to get the screen out, let me zoom out here. Okay, so we got this frame. I like to go from the inside middle part. That's usually the easiest way, and we're just going to slowly, carefully pull up on it. And it feels like there's actually adhesive holding this bezel down onto the screen. So we're going to have to carefully peel this up. The screen's already broken, so we don't have to worry too much about breaking it, but still you do want to go slow and careful. You don't want to just rip things out. You might end up breaking clips. So what I do is I pull up on the center and I push down and inwards on the outside a little bit. Okay, so it's kind of like rotating it like this. Okay, just like that, and you can hear the adhesive slowly peeling up. Okay, we're gonna peel this side now, and this is actually just held in with adhesive, it seems. Okay, so we're just gonna slowly, carefully peel this up. It looks like we are gonna need some double stick tape to put this back down. Okay, unless the double stick tape does hold up and is reusable. But anyways, we're gonna continue peeling this out. Okay, I did take this out a little bit earlier just to check the screen model number, so keep that in mind. Yours might be a little bit more work to get out. Okay, so we're gonna continue peeling this. Okay, you can see how the plastic bezel just comes out. Right now I'm pulling this bezel outwards this way. I'm pulling it out as I'm kind of pulling on this, so that keeps it flat instead of like pulling it like this and then you're gonna crease it and bend it. Okay, so just gonna keep pulling on that and pulling that just like this, and there we go. Okay, so we got the bezel out. You can see all the adhesive there. We're likely going to be able to reuse this adhesive, so we'll just set that piece apart. Okay, and then does this have, okay, this doesn't seem to have stretch release adhesive or anything. I think there's just foam that's holding it in place. So what you do is you tip this forward and then you kind of twist this a little bit and you can see the screen popped out, and we can carefully pull this out. Actually, is there adhesive holding it? I don't know. It could be the foam is just stuck to it. So yeah, carefully pull this. I'm pulling the foam parts away, so I'm pulling the screen away from the foam as I kind of let it go. Okay, And there's not too much slack here. This piece, actually, you can see I can lift it slightly up and then this piece moves out. So we're gonna do that and then slowly rotate it forward. And we gotta be careful that we don't damage this cable. Then we have this adhesive here, this thin piece that's holding it in place. Here you can see the screen model number, okay? NV140QUM, oh, sorry. NV140QUM-N53 version 3.0. So the version is a lower version as well, because this is they wrote NE140QUM-N53 version 5.0. But again, hopefully that E is just a typo. It does look to be about the same. Let's actually unwrap this and check. You want to be careful because this plastic wrap stuff can put out some static. So yeah, just be careful not to, oh, they even included some adhesive strips. I didn't know that. Not that this model uses them, so I'm just gonna set those aside. Okay. All right, so we'll just continue unraveling this stuff. Again, make sure to keep yourself grounded on something. Okay. Just like that. Okay, got all of this. All right, so here's the screen. I'm gonna set that cardboard piece aside, and we're gonna open this up. They actually put like a little sticker here so they know it's theirs. Okay. Peel this open, and if you look at it, the screen design is very, very similar. This does have like a cable going down from the screen. They have this coppery stuff here. They have the 4 little holes. Oops, sorry, let me zoom out. All right, they got the 4 little holes here on both sides, on this one and that one. So very similar, and the thing lines up. So maybe it's just a different, newer version. But anyways, let's go ahead and see if we can peel this thing up. This thing can sometimes be pretty difficult to get out. It helps to have like a little thin plastic razor tool or something like this. I might have to actually switch to a new blade. Let me take this one off and get a new one. So we'll take that out. Okay. Let's see here. We got. Let's get a new one here. Okay. Get that in there. Come on, get in. Gotta line it up. Sorry, this isn't really part of the repair, but okay. We got this. Let's see if we can scrape that out. Yes, we can. Okay. So it helps to have a good tool to do this. Otherwise, you can kind of just scrape at it until you can get it. But there you can see we got under most of it, and go under this side as well and peel that up. Okay, once you kind of get it up, you can go ahead and peel this. There we go. Let me actually zoom in some more for you guys. Okay, so we got that. We'll peel this. We'll flip this latch back. Then once you flip that, you use the bottom. I use my fingernails towards the bottom and then hold the screen in place. I'm holding it with my fingers, and then we can pull that back. All right. Very simple. We'll take this screen out. Very thin. These things are pretty fragile, so you want to be careful. I don't know if you can see how wobbly, flexible that is. So be very careful because you don't want to end up breaking the screen, especially the new replacement one. Okay, so here we have the replacement screen. We'll get that. Pull the cable up. You might have to kind of work with moving this around to get it lined up for easier installation. And then make sure you get these corner edges into the slot. Okay, you don't want to accidentally bend those pieces. I've seen some customers that tried to do it on their own and did that because it's their first time. They don't know what to look for. Anyways, now you grab that. Come on, go back in. It's wobbling all over the place. Watch me end up bending it and I'll be like, oopsie. All right, grab that and then pull that into place. Okay, just like that. Perfect. Then you swing this latch down, make sure it clips, and then pull that in a little bit and tape that back down. The problem is now this is taped on that little sticker, So if you peel this up, it's going to peel that off. So I don't know why they put it there. That's kind of a bad place to put it. All right, anyways, we're going to put this back in. We do have to line up the foam on the sides and here. So make sure when you put this screen in that you get the foam lined up. Okay, you are going to want to kind of pull this screen down. Actually, let me zoom out a little bit more. Okay, so you're going to want to kind of pull the screen down so it compresses the foam, so that way you can get it to go into this sticky foam pad area as well. And then slide it over all the way as much as you can to one side. Okay, we're going to do the same thing on this side. It's going to be a little tricky. Get it into this foam pad, pull it down, and then get it into there. Okay, and there we go. So we have the screen in place. We are going to have to peel off this protective layer before we put the bezel on, but we do want to test it first. So let's carefully close this up and let's reconnect the battery. I don't think we disconnected anything in here, so main thing is let's reconnect the battery. Okay, lift this plastic out of the way. This piece you do have to again pull it slightly out, get the back edge in. Okay, and then once you get that in, you slide it back down and then click. Okay, so get that in and click it. Come on, why isn't it clicking? It's being difficult. Click, there you go. Click one side first and then click the other. There we go, perfect. All right, and then we're gonna go ahead and see if it turns on. If you're wondering how to replace the batteries, then you got these four, actually, sorry, there's 3 here, and then you have 1 here, and you got these 2 here if you want to pull the battery out. All right, anyways, let's flip this over and let's see if it powers up. Oh, be careful, the screen might fall out right now since there's no bezel helping hold it in place. I'm gonna have to squeeze this and then get this back in completely. This part can be a little tricky to get these. These side pads can be a little tricky. It does help to use a thin pry tool here. So let me show you here. I have this really thin tool that I can use to help hold the foam out of the way or slide it between and get the foam into place. So let me actually lift this up and then I'll pull the foam back. So I'll use this to pull the foam back and then drop the screen in there. That way the foam is pushing on it. But the problem is, how do we get both sides? So let's see here. So we have the one down here first, so we'll get this one in. So pull that foam back, hold the screen there, pull this foam back, get the screen there, and there we go. Okay. All right, so there we go. Also make sure you didn't accidentally damage any of this stuff there or pull cables out. All right, let's push the power button and see if anything happens. I think the battery acts as a oh wait, actually I think there's a separate CMOS BIOS battery. So let's see. It looks like the keyboard's lighting up. I don't know if you were able to see that. Oh, it is lighting up, and there we go. The screen seems to be working well. So I think we should be good. We do just have to put the bottom cover back on. I'm gonna cover this just in case it shows the username. For now, we can go ahead and put the bottom cover back on, and then we will put the screen bezel on. But other than that, that's all there is to it. Hopefully this video helped you guys out. If it did, please make sure to like, subscribe, share my channel with others so that they can learn how to upgrade and repair their devices as well. And if it helped you save a bunch of money, please consider contributing a little to the channel. Every little bit helps and allows me to continue making these videos for a living. So this cover you want to put in at an angle like this. Lower it down. Okay, make sure that the little feet, let me see if I can show you. Make sure that these little things that stick out here go into the little slots there. And you'll know because it should line up pretty flush with the case. Okay, oh, there we go. All right, one other thing to mention, after replacing the screen, you do want to restart the computer one time. Don't do a shutdown. You want to do a regular restart. So in the start, when you go to shut down, you want to actually click restart, because sometimes if you don't, it doesn't detect the new screen properly and it can cause problems. So all right, and I also like to twist the screw backwards at least once to hear it click, and then I'll tighten it down. I don't know if you can hear that. Hear that? And then tighten it down. All right. That way I make sure the screw doesn't strip out the little screw hole. All right, so same thing, you hear it click, and then go ahead and tighten it in. Okay, there we go, perfect. Make sure everything's good. Then we will carefully open this. I'm gonna be careful. I think it's gonna show the customer's username. So, okay, so here you can see it's showing like date and time and stuff. Okay, so I'm gonna close this now. Yeah, it's not touchscreen. Okay, and now I'm gonna shut this. Well, again, like I said, you want to restart one time. So right now I'm restarting it. And then, oh, I probably showed the username. Okay, it's whatever. All right, anyways, let's go ahead and get the, this foam thing kind of went back out. So I'm going to have to try and pop it in again. So again, go in there, pull the foam back, and then drop it down. And there you go. You can tell because then now it's like staying flat. You can see this foam's kind of going under again. So you go all the way in, then you rotate this to pull the foam back, and there we go. Okay. Does it come back out again? Oh, it keeps lifting out the other side, so I have to hold that down and then do that. Okay, there we go. All right. Did I accidentally lift the foam pad out from this side? Oh, the bottom. Yeah, that's gonna be difficult. So the foam down here is lifting out, so I'm gonna try and keep it held down, get the tool in there to go past the foam, and then flip it forward to pull the foam back and drop that in. There we go. Okay, let me shut this down properly, and then I will show you guys how to get the bezel back in. Okay, so obviously we got that. We're gonna peel this piece off now, so just roll it back. You wanna hold the screen down and just roll it back. Don't pull it straight up, you wanna roll it backwards, just like this, okay? Just like that. Okay, and the screen's actually glossy. Was the original glossy? I don't remember. Oh yeah, it is, okay. I was worried it changed to matte, or to glossy from matte. All right, so we got that. Next thing, obviously, you just get all of this lined up and then stick it down. So I like to start with the top first because there are like these corner edges. So I can line up the corner edge here, like the corner, the side, and this top, and then push down from there. And then we just kind of work our way across, making sure that it stays lined up into the edges. Okay, make sure the edges stay lined up and that this thing will still work. All right. And keep going. Okay, so once you get all the top edge in, then it should be pretty simple. Just go ahead and go down the side edges and everything, keeping it flat and flush and pulled towards the edges. Okay. Good. Very simple. All right. And that's pretty much it. Stick all this adhesive down and we should be good to go. All right. Make sure it's all stuck in. If this stuff does start popping out or anything, you'll want to replace the double stick adhesive with something better or a new double stick adhesive. I use like an acrylic double stick adhesive. But yeah, other than that, it should be good. Just make sure to go over it, make sure it's all sticking. It's weird because underneath they don't put a flat surface for it to stick to, so it's a little bit hard to get the stuff to stick down well, but there you go. And we're gonna stick that in. It looks like they crunched this a little bit here. It looks like maybe they put something in there and that's how it damaged the screen, but yeah, and that's pretty much it. Again, hopefully this video helped you guys out. If it did, make sure to like, subscribe, share my channel with others so that they can learn how to upgrade and repair their device as well. And if it helped you save a bunch of money, please consider contributing a little to the channel. Every little bit helps and it allows me to continue making these videos for a living. And that's all there is to it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. All right, let's drop this. Bye.